good. That trio's been looking good. They had a very hard route to, qualify as well. So and they got it done.
Yep.
So
Okay, let's get some predictions going, chat. Let me write up some predictions. Now, I'll maybe be able to copy and paste the options for Bucky's mod to make it easy if you guys want to have the same prez to see, you guys can jump on it for channel points and stuff. Pre-show starts in 19 minutes, chat.
Yeah, 19 minutes until the official broadcast starts.
Yeah, and that's if it's on time, let's be real. I'm hoping this one runs well. They were doing trial games early and everything was working, so I don't think there'll be any of those kind of issues.
They look pretty prepared. They look pretty prepared.
Okay, let's do who plays highest game. Okay, let's do Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache. Let's do Acorn, Aegis, Poyo. Let's do Pix, Dom, Damus, Kanata, Rapid Bolts, Clicks, Higgs, Yomzo,
who else we have?
Vanya, Pixie, Marius. I'm trying to do all the big teams, chat, that you guys. You guys would probably have in your one.
Peter in there.
But they made it off spawn in one game last Grands, got a double-digit kill win. In the one game they got Demon's Loot. More than it is right now. What do you think?
I'm going to go completely different. I really think it's going to give you a 9-3 for Doxy.
You think Fred's taking it?
Yeah, I think Ferdoxy's really going to switch it out. I think Ferdoxy's going to be pretty dominant all across about it. I think today's going to be the more dominant day for Ferdoxy. I think they're going to come out and kind of get like a 4-2, 5-1. And then day 2, Tasty's going to cook some more stuff up and it'll be more even.
Okay. I think it's going to be 9-3 to Fred as well, or 10-2. And I have good reason for this. Chat. So we've got Arc versus macros were found on some players' devices. Now, obviously, it's created some drama. There was apparently so many found that they're not really able to disqualify anyone for it. So, because it was that bad.
And that's going to help Fred.
That's going to help Fred, because if you ever watched how Fred plays his off spawns, he is the one pro player that I can promise you is not macroing, because he never, ever went for a 50-50.
He literally can't.
He planned his drop to land on the top and then go underneath and maximize the floor and chest loots he'd get without having a 50-50. He never 50-50. So I think now, with the fact that, Epic has made that statement, and I'm hoping that we have no macros at this land, I think Ferdoxy has the edge over Taysom, because Ferdoxy is a phenomenal spawn fighter, and the one time we saw them go down, it was a bit rough. So I think Ferdoxy's going to take that
macros
one.
being banned, it's most likely going to be a Ferdoxy win now.
All right, so Veno versus Kaido. We talked about it so much. We both said 10-2, right?
Yeah, we both said 10-2. I think 10-2, 11-1, something similar to that. Vico, I'm so serious. I really do think there is a actual world where it could be 12-0. But a lot of times when stuff is like that, when it's going to be that favored, you might see stuff go a lot different. My thing is, I just don't know if Coyote's going to be the type of team. It looks like they have too much passion to ever be the type of team to go down and turn it into a grief. That's why I think Vino still has such a good chance to do good, because I think Coyote has a lot of passion. I don't think he's ever going to be the type of player to go bottom cannon, farm out a building, grief it out, stall it out, and make it to where Vino doesn't have a chance. So I think it's going to be a 50-50 straight wave, all 12 games through. Vino will most likely take home a lot of those and still have a good chance.
The only way I can see it where it kind of like stalls out and grieves Veno is if they get the hot drop. If they get the yellow, text hot drop where they have the loot drones,
once you have the loot drones,
is where you can swerve down in and actually get equal loot to the top.
If you actually swerve down in the bottom loot is better with the drones.
Exactly. So
then you can get flagged too.
You get this loot at the top quicker, so Veno can land on this loot at the top, and then so the way this fight plays out, Chad, and has been playing out between these two teams, they land up here, they fight here really quickly, they get the better loot, and then they drop down. If Coyote swerves, or any team who swerves down here, is going to lose unless there's loot drones. That's the only way you can equal the loot quick enough to then fight them back. So it should be pretty quick. Now, all right, we'll save the big one for last. Let's go for this one. We have not talked, no one has been talking about the spawn fight.
SETI,
Yaku,
the whole problem, the reason why it can't be talked about
Just say it.
Both these teams are just dead out the air.
Oh.
It's no world.
Oh.
Kappa, okay, I don't know if you know in previous grand finals,
I don't.
but Kappa is it's always one of the furthest drops ever. You have people coming in from left to right buses almost every single time through Rainbow and stuff like that, and people land so early, especially these top teams over here. You are so high up in the air. Online lands have been too laggy where you can't tag them out of the air. And it's rumored that this grand's going to have, or this global's going to have absolutely no lag.
Yeah.
Like even in the all spawn, people are not going to be laggy out the air. So you get people like Threats and stuff like that. I mean, Pigstorm, Demons, they all have good aim. A lot of these teams are going to be shot out the air. The score is going to be, it is going to be all over the place. This is not just like a 3v3 50-50 drop. People are going to be dying out the air. This is a hard drop.
That's a good
one.
Yeah.
People will be dying out there a lot.
I did not think that was a factor at all. So this one could be a lot of RNG of just do you get shot? Yeah, okay. Just are you the sacrifice? Okay. I mean, Tinker, Kazi, and Aspect, not phenomenally known. Okay. Tinker, Kazi, Aspect, they don't. Do you know this team's best land placement?
I don't.
I think it's 50th. It's 50th or 49th. The two OCE teams came 49th and 50th. They're one of the two. So if they get above a 20, like a 31st, it's an improvement. And when I asked them, what is your goal for placement? They said not bottom 2.
So at least we're guaranteed our best placement here.
Yeah,
we're guaranteed our best placement here.
Not yet. We're con. We could go 12-0 and we could actually, okay,
but still.
So we'll see how, we'll see how we go.
But yeah, obviously without the air stuff,
I
think SETI would kind of dominate this also.
Yeah, they should.
I
So. Panzer and SETI, Yapko, Panzer, I have not seen a single piece of content on them. No 1v1s, no 2v2s, nothing. They have been laser dialed in.
Panzer, I saw Panzer grinding a lot. And then SETI, SETI, every single land. He's him. SETI is one of the greatest land players ever.
Mr. Aura.
Land players ever.
Barker, Paz, Pump, NA West boys, you know them pretty well, against Valor, Adapter, and Mansour. What are you thinking?
So this is where Reek kind of like changed my vibe in this a little bit.
Reek really, if you guys missed my stream last night, the last behind the scenes, Reek really laid out how it's going to go.
So apparently this Middle East team is extremely strong off spawn, and Baka and Pars are a little bit weaker off spawn. Apparently the Middle East team was dominating them heavy, and Baka, Pars, and Pump were kind of running around, looting the South, not even doing the 50-50 anymore, and kind of trying to almost basically split this drop. And with all the teams around, it's not the drop you want to split around.
True.
Because you will be keyed.
I want to try you keep talking. I want to try and see if I can grab this. I want you guys to be. They didn't have it on. Oh, I can't have that without the audio. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I want to try and get the crowd sound, but you guys are here through our mics anyway, though.
But I mean, if I had to, honestly, for me, I think Baka, Pars, and Pump are at an absolute gross trio. I really think they're extremely good. I think Pump has been very locked in. Dude, they've been grinding the all spawns. I really do think Pump could still do good. I do think they could still maybe 8-4 that.
They were my small region pick. Other than King, I think the two best small region teams, like taking jobs out of occasion, just taking their raw talent, I think Pump and King are the two best small region teams in my opinion, but both con, so we'll see. Yeah. Walkouts, not chat. Well, no one's walkouts, don't worry.
For me, King is 100% the best non-big region team.
Also, chat, they can't do walkouts until Fortnite goes live anyway, so it's all good. Yeah. And I'm guessing Fortnite's not live yet?
Fortnite's not live yet.
Yeah, we're chilling, chat. They literally can't. She's just hyping up the crowd. There you go. She's just out there on the stage, hyping him up. This crowd is so loud. It is.
This crowd's insane.
It is. I'll talk to Maris throughout the show as well if I need to turn down the game and the microphone and stuff like that. We can do that. Okay. Now we got Pete, Rido, Victor V. So we've got NA versus NA West versus Asia. I've talked about this a million times. I already know. I think Pete's dropping here max 6 games. How many games do you think Pete goes Dystopia? That's a good question. How many games do you think he actually lands here?
Okay, so my whole prediction on it is I think with the how Raz cooks up like those little strats and stuff like that. He cooked a couple up in the last grands. I think with how much Raz been working hard and what they were not wanting to show on stream, they were letting no cameras around anything at all.
They weren't.
So
anything.
I think Raz has VOD reviewed every single one of these teams, and I think they have a strategy for every single game going into this. All 12 games, I think they have a different little strat where they're going to go in with like how they did with Acorn, where they camped the bottom, got the kill on Acorn, and then played positioning from there.
Yeah.
So like I could think we could see a lot of plays like them take a little bit of loot, go camp the bottom, get that kill, play that Mountain 4 Surge. I think we're going to see a bunch of different stuff coming out from them. I think they're just insanely prepared.
Yeah, I think they are. So,
and I think the triple con doesn't matter.
There's 2 options too. So I've talked about them straight landing other PYs, right? I think they might land on Clicks. I think they might land on Vanya. I think they might land on Poyo. But again, they don't have to land straight PYs. They can do the teeny strat. Veno's insane, 6th in FNCS where he almost won, dropping 9 different PYs. That was cooked up by Raz, and that was landing out. So I think
Raz is
I think they go here max 6 games, genuinely.
Raz has been great this year. And I don't think I don't know. I don't think they're going to be unprepared. I think it's just a world of if it's going to work or not. You know?
Is it insane to say they go here 0 games?
No, I think that's a bigger possibility.
I think they could
them.
actually. I think game 1 it could go to Dystopia, and Pete's literally not there from the start of the game. They might even have. They might have 0 intention of going here. Once they got to land, realized Epic Will or Raito aren't going to leave. I think Pete instantly started cooking up like every other strat. They might just not go here.
I think 100%. I think there's a higher chance of them not landing their 1 game.
Yeah.
I think there's a higher chance of them not landing their 1 game than all 12 games.
Yeah. I agree.
It'll be interesting. And then
can't really call that one. And then we're hoping Gab0 leaves. But if Gab0 doesn't leave, I think
Are we hoping Gab0 leaves?
I'm hoping Gab0 leaves. Then it depends on Muzz though. I would rather Muzz be uncon than King. But I need a small region to get top 10. If we don't get a top 10 from Brazil, Asia, NA West, OCE, Middle East, I'm gonna be so sad.
Who's our chance here?
King.
It's
literally King. It's King being uncon. That's what I mean. So that's why if Gab0 was going on almost any other team, I would be praying for it. But because it's my boy Muzz, I don't want to see it, but I want to see King uncon. Like, I want a world where King's uncon.
Oh, just Muzz being I don't want to see Muzz.
I know. I don't see Muzz con.
Yeah. I don't want to see Muzz con.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
But it would be beautiful to see a King uncon. Because if King gets another top 10 on land, another top 5 even on land, like, you really could get into some crazy conversations, you know, where King could move to Central fully and be a top player in Central for a while. Anything else going interesting on this map? We got the Ruin clicks.
Yep. So like the kind of trade. They're not going to fight. They're just trading.
So they're apparently trading.
You think?
But no one trusts clicks trading because
Yeah.
every single time clicks is supposed to trade with someone, it goes wrong. Clicks fucks him over.
Yeah, he always messes up his trading partner. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Clicks has got that mentality, but do the Middle East guys know that? That's the difference. Does Middle East know that?
They don't, because they didn't play in NA for too long. Only the NA teams know that you don't trust Clicks next to you. They're talking in American right now.
Oh, it's Frankie.
Is that Frankie?
It's Frankie. W Frankie. It is Frankie.
They're not even live yet, are they?
No.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be beautiful, man.
I'm so lucky to be in front of. You are the most important part of this show along with the players.
Ooh, let's go, baby.
You are the ones who let the world know how amazing your country is and how amazing your esport is, right? You create.
So I'm just listening.
Is that American? Yeah. Fortnite's live now, chat. We've got the actual show. Hey, they're doing the show.
Fortnite's live.
Because I really want to, because I think they might be doing the David intro. I really want to see them do the David intro.
Yeah.
Okay, not yet. Okay,
so we just have the screen that's on behind us. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, why is this doing that?
Don't call her cringe, fuck. Dude, did you see her pressing me about calling her cringe? I never called her cringe.
They turned that for me. Is the PGM... Oh, that's the broadcast. Okay, so I lose the ability to show the stadium. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's all good.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that stadium cam was like a separate one. It's all good. It's all good. About to be a movie, bro. It's about to be a movie. I'm so excited.
We can pan to, after wins and stuff like that, we could pan to your eye, or you got your eye roll from back, didn't you? Okay.
Okay, fuck you read this. Okay, fuck you read this. Okay,
Okay.
Yeah. Just in case.
Got you.
All right. Thank you, Vay. Appreciate it, bro. Clicks live. Oh my, wait, Clicks live? No way he pulled the pin and just like, wait. I don't think he wanted to go live.
Oh my God, he is live.
But I don't think he wants to
be. Oh,
be.
it's a viewing party.
I don't think.
It's just a viewing party, right?
Oh, it might just be watch party.
Oh my God, he is live.
Chat, it might
we'll see.
It might not be. It might not be, chat. It might not be. We'll see, bro. It might just be watch party though, chat. Oh, that would be smart. Can you do that? I mean, yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, 100%. Why not, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they'd be able to do that 100%.
Yeah, so it might be that. If it's comms though, chat, we will have it pulled up, chat. If it's comms, we'll have it pulled up. Don't you worry. So let me add Clicks here. Let me add Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage is the same thing, so it might actually
it. Take shots, don't miss it. If you miss, you gon' regret it. Before you crawl, know I'm running it all. I'm built up like a pharaoh, now they praying that I fall. Through shadows, been burning through these battles. No weakness in my body, need to know you better ask somebody. Already, I consume the petty, it's plenty. I leave a penny for thoughts about how I'm living. Ay, turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than harder go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it known. It's a rap, got the match built like a pro. You know the legends go, harder than audio. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it known. Me off the top, no way. I came and carved my name. I gave my life into my place, earned everything that I claimed. Nothing ever could replace me. 3-4-3-4, square dance on the floor. This is not a ball, I'm above it all. Start, I see my glow up, where you supposed to go. Proceed on the low, can't lose and find the go. Leave me in the zone, I take your mind and then I snatch your soul. Turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than harder go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it known. I get it, they love my whole aesthetic. Vegas don't listen, told you this ain't hypothetical. Answer the call, prove this once and for all. Can't reach me with an arrow, summer nights I never fall. No cattle, the goat don't wear a saddle. Go riders off my body, cut them off, they acting sloppy. Already, I consume the petty. The vision's 2020, believe your eyes are winning. Turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the
smell fear. I've been there before, but you made it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to notice that you got what you wanted. We don't got time to cry right now. Only got time to focus. 2 hits on a wait list. I was armed and dangerous. Take a shot, leave them faceless. I was armed and dangerous. On a whole different level. I can see why they hate it. I was armed and dangerous. I was armed and dangerous. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I'm locked and loaded. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I'm locked and loaded. You better watch your back, cause we aiming at your head. I don't need to pick me up and I don't need a rest. Knock down, top down, hit him in his leg. Pull up with the trio and my eyes all red. 3 of us can't compete with us. Everybody screaming like they did and believe in us. Believe in us, believe in us, believe in us. 2 hits on a wait list. I was armed and dangerous. Take a shot, leave them faceless. I was armed and dangerous. On a whole different level. I can see why they hate it. I was armed and dangerous. I was armed and dangerous. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I'm locked and loaded. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I'm locked and loaded.
Bonjour tout le monde! Welcome to the Fortnite Global Championships 2025. We have 33 of the world's best trios backstage waiting to compete for the ultimate prize in Fortnite, the Axe of Champions. But they'll be doing it in front of a waiting world, and they'll be doing it in front of these watching eyes here in Lyon, France. And not just eyes, but incredibly loud voices. Lyon, faites du bruit! Faites du!
And so good to see you there. Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à Lyon, bienvenue en France.
For the old
Bienvenue en France. What a pleasure, quel plaisir, quel kiff de voir ce stade rempli aujourd'hui. Vous avez rempli l'Arena de Lyon. Et vous l'avez vu, pour ce Fortnite Global Championship, I will be with Frankie. Make some noise for Frankie!
Coucou Lyon! Ça va ou quoi? This crowd, I have to say, is my favorite in the whole world, Benji.
This is what we call the French atmosphere.
We had to come to France with the Fortnite Global Championships. And right now, actually, I have to introduce what our players will be competing for. It's not just a generous prize pool. It is not just the Axe of Champions and legendary status. It's also this incredible silverware created by Thomas Light. You might remember they created the trophy back at the FNCS Pro-Am in Los Angeles back in May. And now they have truly exceeded themselves.
Exactly, big shout out, énorme bravo à Thomas Light pour la confection, la réalisation de ce trophée. Il est magnifique, c'est lui déjà, Thomas Light, qui avait réalisé, Frankie en parlait, le trophée du FNCS Pro-Am il y a quelques mois aux États-Unis, et il a remis ça, Thomas Light, aujourd'hui pour ce Fortnite Global Championship. This is the trophy and it's absolutely wonderful. The question now, the only question now is, who's gonna win this trophy, Frank?
That's a question that will be decided tomorrow on Championship Sunday. Right now, though, we should try and find out a bit more about some of those teams. So, on y va. Let's head to the desk.
Thank you so much, Frankie and Benji. Fortnite fam, welcome to the Fortnite Global Championship. This is what it's all about. We fought all year long across several majors to find the very best trios in the world. Now, we launch from one battle bus over 2 days, 6 games today, 6 tomorrow, and only one trio will walk away global champions. What's going on, everybody? My name's Zeke, joining us here on the analyst desk. You know him, you love him. It's Vivid, it's 11-2K. My friends, here we are once again, the Global Championship.
Wow, Zeke, 11, Fortnite fan. We've been talking about this all year, sometimes setting aside the importance of winning a major to talk about the qualification spots to show up to this event right here. This is what every single competitive player wants to play at. This is what they dream about.
Boys, it doesn't get better than this. I mean, this is everything we live for in the Fortnite community, the best weekend of the year. And I mean, look, I've spoken to the players. They're ready for this. This is a new atmosphere. You think you've played at a LAN before and experienced that pressure. This is something completely different.
That's right. If you are joining us here in the venue and you can hear us, don't worry. We're going to start things off. We'll be hearing it from us for now. But then we'll actually have some very talented French commentators who'll be kind of talking you through the action. If you guys are watching from home, don't worry. You won't notice a difference. But in venue, going French, and it's going to be awesome. Now, what are we here playing for? Obviously, we took a little bit look at the trophy there with Frankie, but there's quite a bit of prize money on the line as well. $450,000 for the trio that comes in first place. I mean, you know, 12 games of Fortnite, 450K, seems pretty good to me.
Not too bad. There's not only going to be one trio, of course, walking away with a lot of money. There's actually going to be a lot of trios walking away with a lot of money this weekend. Big prize pool, a lot of money on the line. Levin, we set aside the money a lot. We got to talk about the prestige that comes with an event like this.
Of course we want the money, right? But you know, if you're a money man like my guy Vivid over here, maybe the money ain't too big of a deal. But what is a big deal is that trophy. I mean, it is a beauty. Big shout out to Thomas Light, man, for hooking this one up, because this is something that every player on this stage will want to get their hands on.
That's right, and you know, taking a trophy home, you know, saying, hey, I'm a global championship, load up stream. Oh, what's that in the background? My trophy? Not a big deal. We can't also forget a brand new Axe of Champions 3.0. Yep. I would like to be the first person to take hold of that, right? So much on the line, but of course, as I mentioned before, some of the best trios in the world are all competing on this stage. Let's take a look at our lobby list. Let's start to get a picture of what we're going to be seeing happen here. Obviously, it's been fun all year long, right? We've been NNA and EU kind of separate, but now under a single battle bus. It's about to get chaotic.
Yeah, absolutely stacked. Of course, a lot of people are going to look towards the names. I'm looking towards the regions. Of course, the Global Championship, 7 regions represented very, very well.
I mean, look at how much talent here is on this screen. You got some of the best IGLs of all time. You got some of the best fraggers of all time. You got a couple of icons on that page as well. I mean, there is so much talent playing in this lobby this weekend.
I am just, you know, when you take a look at that list, it is insane to think about these players and just think about how stacked it already is, right? Like how many trios didn't make it here, right? This year in particular was unbelievably fierce. But now we have to kind of question, okay, wherever region we're at, we're kind of going in and we're thinking, bro, it's not just my region I'm going against. It's 6 other regions I got to be constantly thinking about, well, what would they do? What is their strategy?
Yeah, exactly, Zeke. That's the beauty of a global championship. We're taking play styles from 99 different players, 7 different regions, throwing them into one lobby. The clash is always so amazing to watch, just from the early game all the way to the end game.
And boys, we get to watch it together. I mean, it's gonna be a good time today.
It is so exciting. Of course, it's not just us hanging out talking about Fortnite with you guys. We also have Mini Miner and Kelly Link. Let's toss it over to them to get their thoughts.
Thank you so much. Zeke Kelly here, joined by Mini Miner, and we are currently in the player lounge where the players just behind the camera are getting ready. We can see them all grouped up, strategizing, getting ready to get in the game. And I know we're ready, and I know you guys are ready, but as you can see, we have a little bit of time, and we wanted to break down what's going on around the map.
Yeah, now we want to take a look firstly at the northwest side of the map. Lots of talk about Queasy's team in particular landing up here to the north side of the map, the Hive. This is a really great drop spot for them. A lot of talk about, on paper, this team looked like a team that could win this global championships. And one of the main reasons for that is, of course, they have that spire right in the center of the POI. They can build up on that, and what they've been doing a lot of is building up on top of that, getting some tags on some of the teams around. And if we throw out the teams that are around, there are so many names around here that they can look for tags on. Of course, we have the teams down to the south, but Kelly, these are some big names around them.
I mean, let me say, with this Spire being able to build up your Surge Tower there, you know that in this season, a lot of people are crash padding on, but having that natural height on top of building it is giving them a bunch of protection, and they need that protection because look who is landing around them. You got Muzz to the northwest, Mr. Savage, Reason, and Chap, who have been absolutely impressing everyone during the Div Cups just to the north of them. Of course, we can't forget about Clix, Eomzo, and Higgs. We have Kanata, Rapid Bolts, King, Phaser, PHZ, and then of course, if you guys have been watching the 1v1s over the last few days, Arc has been on an absolute tear. So to have those names around you, it's probably good to have a little bit of protection.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of good early surge opportunities for these guys as well. But the one downside to this drop spot, I guess you're looking at this, really good surge, loads of loot in that drop spot. The one downside that they're having is the lack of metal at this drop. So they don't have absolutely loads, and they do solve that in two different ways. There is a bunker just about here. And of course, because this is a drop spot where they get that queen, they can access that bunker whenever they like, whether that be at the beginning or, of course, maybe they want to rotate in there late, refarm some of that metal as well. And what they can also do, as you mentioned right there, Muzz is up there, they can rotate all the way up to here and refarm some of the metal at the resistance base to the north. And then, of course, it's a really nice position for them there as well.
Yeah, even if zone pulls to the southeast, they still have so many static launch pads there, not having to worry about wasting their mobility in the middle and late game, so they can go over to the northwest, get that metal, like you said, and then rotate anywhere they need to. But speaking of rotating, we need to rotate to the now southwest side of the map because we have another big name landing over there. And of course, it is Vico, Vino, and Flixie. This has been a team that has been on everyone's eyes essentially since they formed up earlier this year. But what we thought was going to be an uncontested drop over in Canyons is no longer the case.
Yeah, Coyote's team has decided to show up. This is quite a recent development as well coming into this global championship. So huge changes for Vico, Vino, Flixie. It's going to throw a whole new spanner in the works of their drop spot, Kelly.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of throw a little bit of an issues for the teams that are landing around them as well. Obviously, Vico, Vino, Flixie going to be looking for some potential tags. They can either get that from Mix's team to the southwest, but of course, you have teams landing over here, like FKS is going to be landing right there on the mountainside, and then just south of them, we have our OCE team.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big questions here about Alex Anon and Resigns because, of course, there's so many questions about how they're actually going to go about and get their Storm Surge tags. They're an OCE team, not typically too strong on the Storm Surge, right? They haven't necessarily got those strategies clearly at the beginning, but what I'm excited to see what these guys do. Maybe they could try and go for this mountain position right there. You can sort of see it rotating up, so they're trying to get those tags. Maybe, of course, we could see Vico and Flixie, if they do win off spawn right here, maybe they'll make their way over to this hill, because remember, it's such a power position, Kelly. Not only do you have that elevation, you also have those launch pads as well, which can take you right into the center of the map.
But you know who loves that power position as well? Well, it would be the team landing over in Demon's Debris. You might have heard of them. That is Acorn, Agers, and Pollo, a team that has been on everyone's top 5, top 3, if not even winning the whole thing. And I know we got some Gentlemates fans in the audience right now that are all cheering for another Pollo win, back-to-back champion. Is it possible? Well, landing over in Demon's Debris, it is quite possible indeed.
Yeah, it is. And as we take a look at the rest of the map, there is, of course, a sort of trend in the medallions, right? Of course, we know there's a few medallions on the map. Typically, what we've known as, of course, we have it at the Hive, we have it at Ranger's Ruin as well, and we also have one over here in this sort of area right here at Demon's Debris. Now, this was how things were actually looking at the very beginning, right? Now we've seen a big change. We've seen a big change to where now that medallion and, of course, that queen that spawned at Demon's Debris now has a 50-50 chance at spawning at Dystopia City as well. Some big names landing there. Could we see a little bit of a contest there?
Well, you're talking about changes. We got to talk about one of the biggest drop spot changes I think a lot of people are talking about is, of course, Peterbot, Cold, Ritual, moving spots, landing over in Dystopia, getting triple contested. I think there was a possibility of them thinking they were going to ego some players out. But if you've been watching some of the off-spawn fights recently, I don't know if that's going to be the case. However, if there's anything you can expect from Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual is that they're unpredictable.
Exactly. Remember those queens that these guys are fighting over, of course, in this sort of area up there as well. The teams that are actually going for these, they're so beneficial, right? Because you can get all of that hero ranking so early, have access to the bunkers like I mentioned earlier, and even those drop pods that come in, they can get you the crash pads that you mentioned earlier that are so beneficial. The big question for me is if a team does decide to maybe need that later on down the line, of course they know when the queen's going to be at the drop spot when they're on the battle bus, right? So could we see a little bit of a change in drop spots maybe for Pollo's team? Will we see maybe Peterbot, Cold, Ritual do what they did in Major number 3 and go on down there?
There is so much that can possibly happen, Mini Minor, but obviously only time will tell, and I know that I am ready to get into the games, and I bet the desk is as well.
Thank you so much, Mini Minor and Kelly. We'll see more of them in a little bit. but we need to deep dive onto more of what they're kind of talking about. Obviously, getting to see just those 2 quadrants of the map, it's got me so hyped, right? Actually seeing names on the POIs, the map itself, it's got me so hyped. Why don't we kick things off with EU, right? We got Fredoxy going up against Tayson. Now, Levin, you've been close to this, right? You've been watching this all year long, but now we're taking this fight to a global stage.
As an EU fan, seeing 2 top teams contesting each other, it hurts me a little bit. It does.
Yeah.
And seeing 2 teams who, again, have shown a propensity to be incredibly good off spawn. We've seen this fight take place a couple times in the Div Cups. In the first one, I think a lot of people expecting things to go Fredoxy's way, Vivid, right? Fredoxy has a reputation as being a top off-spawn player. And then Tayson, he came through with his trio, Harris and Chicho. They said, nah. They beat those guys badly. They ran it back again in the Div 3, in Div 1 week 3. It went a different way. Fredoxy team came back and showed the off-spawn prowess that we know they have. And so right now, it sits sort of evenly. I think a lot of people are almost not knowing which way it's going to go here on the stage today.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it so scary, right? We don't know what to expect. I can tell you one thing that's almost a guarantee, though. Whatever team ended up winning off spawn in those Div Cups, only 5 out of the 11 times that they actually ended up fighting, they had 3 players alive. So it's pretty much this 50% chance that one of your teammates is going to go down if you end up fighting off spawn, which of course we know that they are. And I feel like that could stall, or definitely will stall their early game. Maybe will also be like this beacon for other teams around the area to kind of come and be like, well, maybe we should go third party this.
I mean, it's possible.
Interesting. So obviously, I like you guys to kind of break this down. I kind of want to take this to the fact that obviously this is a global championship stage, but this crowd kind of takes things to another level, right? Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to get your guys' thoughts on how this could impact the trio. Do we see maybe those nerves maybe being a little more than usual?
Look, when you look at both teams have 2 what you'd call maybe star fragging players, right? You look at Harris along the Balkan side, you look at Chino, right? The young Dane who's come in and you know he's a top fighter. Both of those players haven't played on a stage like this, right? They don't have the experience. Coming into a land like this, having that expectation that you're gonna come through and just beat everyone in fights, that's a lot of pressure to deal with.
Yeah, it definitely is. I can tell you from personal experience and kind of showing up to in-person events like this, it took me, I think, like 3 times of doing it before I felt like I had no nerves kind of going into one. So that's why we always talk about experience, right? It really does matter when it comes down to these types of events.
I like to hear it, but I also want to hear from these players right now. Frankie and Benji are standing by. Let's hear them.
Hello guys, yes we are, because we've got to talk about Rangers Ruin and this epic off-spawn battle that's about to happen. In the last Divisional Cup, you actually came out on top, Fredoxy. Not really like the first Divisional Cup, where you kept losing, so what did you change to start winning?
No, we just used some time on off-spawn prac and became more confident.
Do you think that Tayson hasn't been practicing?
No, I've seen them practice a lot here. Yeah.
It's just a skill difference.
Yes.
En gros, les 2 équipes ont un niveau de jeu différent. Ils se sont tous les 2 entraînés très longtemps sur ce spawn, mais Fredoxy pense que c'est eux qui ont l'avantage, évidemment. Tayson, you land at Rangers Ruin against Fredoxy's trio. Who's gonna win this contest and why?
I think we're gonna win. I just think we're a better off-spawn team and individually we're better.
Pour faire simple, l'équipe est meilleure et même individuellement, il n'a pas peur, il sent en confiance. C'est le trio de Tayson, visiblement, qui est favori.
My jaw has hit the floor because if you look at the statistics going back to Major 3, you are one of the highest damage dealers in the lobby. Do you think he's just a bit scared of you?
I mean, we'll see on stage.
But this is your first time on stage. Do you have any nerves about that? Do you anticipate it feeling different?
No, not about off-spawn. We're confident.
But not confident about the rest of the game, just off-spawn?
I mean, we'll freestyle. We'll see what we do.
To be fair, if anyone can freestyle, it's Fredoxy.
Ouais, elle a bien fait de le souligner, c'est la première fois que le trio de Fredoxy monte sur scène, c'est son premier gros event, mais il est quand même en confiance, il n'a pas peur de la pression, il va boire la pression comme on dit. Tayson, you won 5 FNCS titles, it's the Europe record. Do you think this experience can be an advantage for you and your trio during the games?
I think so, yeah, but I don't really think we have a chance to win this time, just being contested, but I'll just give it to other players this time.
Il pense qu'il peut encore le faire, il peut aller chercher une 6e victoire, mais il a dit ce contest, il va être très relevé. On verra, ça promet, ça va être un très très beau contest.
He said he's going to give the victory to other players. Is he going to give it to you, Fredoxy?
I mean, when you're contested, I think it's like you need a 10-2, 11-1 to win when you have like so many teams trading Surge, being like consistent. So yeah, I understand him.
One more question for you. Is there anything you would like to say to Tayson on the record before you land at Rangers Ruin?
Just good luck. Good luck. And Tayson?
Same.
Good luck, guys. Thank you, man.
Ending on such a lovely, sweet note here backstage, but I imagine it's not going to be quite so sweet once we board the battle bus, Zeke.
You know, they're trying to keep calm, cool, and collected right now, Frankie. I can definitely tell there's a bit of a different atmosphere, right? That once again, this crowd is probably the best crowd we have ever had. And I think even people with coming in with experience, the moment M8 starts going crazy, kind of changes things.
Hey, listen, I feel like we've got a lot of experience up here on the desk at this point, and it's definitely it's going to take a little bit of time for us to kind of adapt to the noise as well.
100%. It's funny though, I feel like both players are almost just like completely focused on the off spawn, and it's just like the rest of the game after that, whatever, man. Like, let's just try and win off spawn has been the focus. I think both players again will be under immense pressure, but we'll see who can do it the best.
I like that. Let's keep this conversation going. There's more contestations happening. Let's take it on over to Vico versus Koyota. This is an interesting one. This kind of all kicked off with some social media exchanges, and now here we are at a global stage contesting each other on maybe not the stage we should be doing this, but it's happening.
I mean, yeah, look how incredible of a year both of these trios had. I mean, first, sixth, and second for Vico's trio there. Koyota also putting on an incredible year, especially that Major 3 performance. And this hurts me so much because if you take a look at global championships on a greater scale, right, go all the way back to 2022, you count in 23, 24, and everything like that, there's only been 3 instances of a smaller region team actually placing in the top 10. So much so, actually, that last year at Globals, there were none in the top 10. So to see such a good team like Koyota's trio have to go up against such a titan of a trio off spawn, it hurts.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it was just last year when Koyota really announced himself to the global world as being a top Fortnite player. Like you say, it hurts to see him having to go off spawn against such a veteran, experienced team. We talk about the way off spawns can go all day long. Ultimately speaking, Vico Veno Flixi will just have had infinitely better off-spawn practice than what Koyota, Rise, and Yuma have been able to have access to, right? These guys get to practice off-spawn against the best of the best EU and NA teams all the time. You know, the Asian teams, it's a lot harder for them to get that same level of practice with it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Also, you know, we were blessed last night, right? Me, Levin, all the crew kind of sitting there out in the lobby at the hotel. Vico kind of comes by. Confidence is like the only word I feel like I need to say. Like, Vico just feels so confident kind of going into this all-spawn play, but me not so much, because this feels like an extreme 50-50. Like, is that going to be replicable?
I mean, we'll have to see. The one thing I'd say maybe that goes against Vico, Veno, Flixi is that, you know, in the case especially of, you know, Veno and Vico, very emotional players, right? Yeah. There's a scenario where maybe, you know, they're going in super confident. If those first couple games don't go their way, trouble might be ashore. So we have to see how these guys start and whether or not the Asian team, Koyota's trio, decide to even want to stay there, right? You know, initially they weren't even going to be landing at this spot. We thought maybe they were going to be landing further up north, contesting Mr. Savage's trio. So there's a good chance these guys maybe get rooked a couple games and say, you know what, guys, we'll take a step back, you know, you're good. But who knows really at this point?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of, you know, further elaborate on what we kind of talked about, Vico's saying, hey, look, I put a lot of practice in. There was a lot of things he kind of kept going, you know, talking about in the practice, putting in. We're all sitting there going, wow, like, you really have thought this through. I almost wonder, though, right? Like, this is a show day. You could put a lot of practice on, but when you show up on the day, anything can happen. So I almost wonder if things were to go not in Vico's favor, what happens? You talk about being an emotional player. Maybe they continue to get rocked off spawn. Maybe he has to come back for day 2. I don't know.
I mean, even like talking to the coach of Koyota's trio, but I was kind of like, hey, listen, like, what's the game plan for all 12 games? Of course, you know, we know that you're going to start landing there, but if things start to go bad, and you know, basically he was like, hey, listen, man, they do not like to be disrespected, and I think they're going to take it to them all 12 games.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Well, guess what? Frankie, Benji are standing by with them right now. Let's hear from the players.
We are. I can't wait for this Canyon Crossing clash. Koyota, what was your coach Spen's reaction when you said you wanted to now land at Canyon Crossing?
スペンコーチにカニョンに降下すると教えたら、どのようなリアクションをしましたか？
まあ自分たちの判断に任せるようにやって、後悔のないように自分たちの判断に任せるっていうことを言われました。
So he just said here he's gonna leave the decision to us, like he's gonna just, you know, let us do whatever we think it's the best for us.
And Spen has taught you a lot because 8 victory royales in Major 3 in Asia. What is the thing that he has taught you that has strengthened your game?
スペンコーチはたくさんのことを教えたと思うんですね。スペンコーチになってから、大会で12試合の中で8回、勝利できましたけれども、特にどんなことを教えましたか？どんな影響を与えましたか？
なんかもう立ち回りの安定感とか、コミュニケーションの部分もそうですし、なんかそういうことをも教えられて、なんかより安定したかなって前より、思います。
So he taught us how to move more safely, how to behave more safely in the game, but also a lot about communication inside the team. So I think those are the two most important things he taught us.
Vico, what do you think about this contest versus Koyota's trio? Honestly, did you expect it or not at all?
I mean, we knew the whole season we were going to be contested. The first cup where they landed like cannon crossing, we already knew we were going to be conned. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about it. They can do whatever they want, right? It's a game. So if they decide to land on us, then I'll just teach them not to do it again.
Pour faire simple, ils font ce qu'ils veulent. Le spawn n'appartient à personne. Ils peuvent venir. Mais ce qu'il dit concrètement, c'est que qu'ils viennent, pas de problème. Ils seront très bien reçus.
With the aggression that you brought to the Asian region, do you think you can replicate that here at the Global Championships?
なんかアジア地域で本当にアグレッシブなスタイルを見せたんですけれども、この世界大会でも同じスタイルができると思いますか？
できるだけ自分たちを信じて、今まで通りやる予定です。
So we want to keep it up. We want to play it like we want to believe in ourselves and just keep up doing what we've been doing so far.
But if you do start to lose off spawn against Vico's trio, would you consider moving to a different area of the map?
なんか序盤でビコ選手たちと何回も負けたら他のところに移動する予定がありますか？
ない。
No, I don't think I have to translate that.
Vico, last year you finished 4th at the 2024 Globals. What's the objective? What's the plan for this 2025 edition? Maybe top 5, top 4, maybe more?
I mean, the plan was to get first to win this. But now that we're conned, I think we can still top 3. You know, if we do good, we prepared a lot for this. So I think we can still top 3, maybe and win if we do good. So.
Pour faire simple, ils se sont préparés au mieux. Évidemment, s'ils peuvent aller chercher la victoire, le titre, ils le feront. En tout cas, ils visent au minimum le top 3. On aura des clients très, très sérieux dans cette finale.
Finally, Koyota, is there anything you would like to say to Vico?
ビコ選手に向け何かメッセージ一言がありますか？
Good luck.
Good luck.
And you, have you got a word for Koyota?
Good luck. Hope you prepared well.
C'est que de l'amour pour l'instant. Rendez-vous maintenant sur la map.
Bonne chance. Bonne chance. À la deux.
Man, Vico just trying to farm that aura, and he is successful. But also, I gotta say, I love Koyota. He just seems so wholesome and I love to, hey, you know, would you leave? Nah. I love to see
no
that.
translation needed.
Yeah, dude, the fact that we're gonna see these two trios go head to head is so crazy. And again, there's just like one of the many things happening across the map, but hearing them now, dude, I'm super excited for it.
Like, I'm excited, Zeke, but at the same time, my heart's broken a bit, man. Because, you know, all three of us, we always get called out for our biases, right? They always say I'm EU biased. They always say you guys are NA biased. And I tried to show some of the other regions love. And when I look at some of the other regions, Koyota, Horizon, Yuma are a team from Asia that I really want to be able to champion these guys and be like, look, these guys can hang with the best of the best. But if they're competing all 12 games off spawn against one of the best EU teams in the world, they leave me no choice but to sit here and just have to look the other way, man. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. I wish we could see both these teams uncontested, though.
Yeah, I mean, I love that point, right? Because a lot of people kind of coin Koyota as like the Asian peanut butter. Sometimes people even say, hey, peanut butter's like the NA Koyota, right? It kind of goes back and forth right there. That's how good individually Koyota has shown himself to be. But, you know, we got to go ahead and respect the confidence on the other side of things as well. Vico basically saying, hey, listen, we were planning on winning it. We know how detrimental, you know, fighting off spawn is, and Vico went ahead and said, hey, listen, we don't really feel like we can win it, but we still feel like we can get top 3. I feel like that is an incredible goal in its own self, right?
You know, absolutely. That would be one of the best performances we've seen from a team ever, right? You know, it would be mental. And I think the reason why a lot of these guys are like, I'm convinced I'm not going to win, it comes from a respect for the lobby, right?
Yeah.
When you look at some of the other teams in this lobby from some of the other regions, a lot of these guys look at them with so much respect and go, I'm contested 12 out of 12 games. If those guys are uncontested, it's going to be hard keeping up with them.
I like that respect. Again, I just love looking at this through the lens of a global championship stage. I agree, though. I don't want to see these guys fight. I want to see both of these trios make it to endgame and kind of see, okay, what do they have prepared for us? But now this could go back and forth, you know. I'm scared, I'm excited, but that's what Globals is, right? Yes. At the end of the day, we're going to be fighting it out, and there can only be one trio that walks away as global champions. Now, of course, you kind of heard a little bit from us. Why don't we hear a little bit from this crowd? Frankie, Benji, over to you.
Thank you, guys. We do need to test the loyalty of the audience here in Lyon, because we've just discussed the epic Offspawn battles we're about to witness, and we need to see who the crowd is siding with.
Exactly. Tyson versus Fredoxy. Fredoxy versus Tyson. Selon vous, ce contest, qui parie sur Tyson?
Vous en pensez quoi, Lyon? Fredoxy!
Ooh.
I think Fredoxy might have the edge here, Benji.
Yeah, I think too. Vous l'avez vu, il y a eu un deuxième contest. On vous a parlé aussi du trio de Koyota face à celui de Vico. Sacré contest encore entre les deux équipes. Selon vous, dans le public, qui parie sur le trio de Vico?
Lyon, le trio de Koyota!
Even.
Pretty even. And I think I might know why, Benji. Because the audience here, really, their support and their love is going to any team with a gentlemate on it! And we do have many teams with one of those gentlemates players on it. And we're going to be introducing them very soon, Benji.
Oh yes, 7 players for M8 gentlemen during this final. This is the public, this is the crowd that you heard since the beginning of the show. This is M8 fan. They're so crazy. Guys, make some noise!
And that's just the Gentlemates fans. Before we go back to the desk, Lyon, tout le monde, faites du bruit! Zeke, back to you.
Listen, okay, this is one of the best crowds we have ever had, and we're not even in game yet, okay? You know, in that moment, we get the eliminations start flowing, we get that victory royale moment, it's going to be crazy. Now, as we start to kind of focus back in on the competition, I wanted to highlight something for you guys. 3 of the best players from last year's Globals are finding themselves once again back on this global stage. Peterbot, Hoyo, who were a duo that split up early this year, and Queasy. So we wanted to take some time to kind of highlight where they are all at and how their trios are performing so far. Obviously, we got to start with M8 Hoyo.
They're partying. They're partying.
They're already gone. They're like, see, just
keep they see his name. They see his name. I mean, how can you not? Look, I think a lot of people coming into the competition this weekend, Vivid, they're looking at Hoyo, Acorn, and Aegis as big favorites to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you look at the situation as a whole, right? Uncontested at one of the best POIs in the game right now. When you take a look at their history throughout the year, first, fifth, second, when you take a look at the individual performances from the likes of like Agers, the most eliminations on NA with 40. Playing absolutely out of their minds, and of course Poyo also playing out of his mind. You've got Acorn on your team to lead you in the right direction, make all of those pivotal calls with the experience to back them up. The trio just looks so good.
The storyline would just be so perfect, right? Poyo had to deal with a lot of criticism of people going, what's Poyo without Peterbot? What can he do without Peterbot, right? He came through at the first major of the year in NA, won it without Peterbot. Can he come to the Global Championships this year, win it without Peterbot? Can Acorn solidify himself as the GOAT IGL in Fortnite? He's won so much, he's done it online, but can he do it here on this stage? And of course, Aegis, an FNCS champion in his own right, who has been underrated at times, but he has been a shining star all throughout this year.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Let's move on Queasy, Swizzy, Murstache. Levin, I'm coming to you. And what's interesting about this trio is obviously the Swizzy factor, right? Finally getting to play together with his actual trio mates.
See, I can't even hear you, Z. I can't even hear you right now. They're way too loud for my guys, Swizzy, Moustache, and Queasy, man. Look, the setup for this team again, the story is so important because you are right. Swizzy has dealt with so much adversity in his career. In 2023, he wins Major 3 in EU. He can't play at the Global Championships there due to visa issues. In 2024, he gets the visa sorted. He can play. His teammate Vanya can't make it. He has to play with a Phil and Yapko. And even playing with a Phil Vivid, he gets top 10. He won't be choose the eventual champions to win a game in Peterborough and Poyo. It still wasn't enough. This year, Swizzy finally gets to play with his teammates, and he has two of the best players in the lobby to be playing with in Queasy and Moustache. Uncontested, these guys, they might go the whole way, man. I really believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Swizzy and Moustache, two of the best fraggers for sure in the game. Levin loves to talk about it. Queasy, he considers him to be the GO IGL as it currently stands in Fortnite. Second, 11th, second at global events in the past. The win right there.
So many times.
So close for him. Can he pull it off this year?
This really, you would think this has to be his year, right? Like he's come so close. And this year, everything looks set up so perfectly for them. We saw the breakdown from Kelly and Minnie at the start of the show. They broke down why things look so good for them on the map. I think a lot of those things will come to fruition today. I hope all goes well for that trio, and I really believe in them.
I love that. Okay, obviously the remaining player of those three, it's Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. You know, when we kind of came into this, these three names is kind of like, hey, any one of these trios could go on to win. But then we kind of throw a wrench into it when Peterbot, Cold, Ritual are triple contested, bro. Why are we doing that at Globals?
Oh, the triple contestation. It's a hard hurdle for me as an analyst to kind of jump over and be like, these guys can still do well. And then I look at it, right? Obviously, you have unanimous best player in the world on your trio. But then when you take a step back and you take a look at the individual performances of Cold and Ritual in Major number 3, you're like, now hold up a second. Cold obviously always has like the best damage ratio, always is right there with eliminations, damage dealt. We know he's very, very good. Then Ritual at the start of this year was getting a lot of flack. Like, Ritual, like, what are you doing? You're holding the trio back. What the heck, man? Takes the entire year, grinds his mechanics. I'm not even kidding. In Major number 3, he was very, very close in comparison to Peterbot in eliminations. Ritual had 25. Peterbot had 33. So the individual skill level of all three just looks so primed up for global.
Yeah, I mean, it is just mental, right? When you have, you know, two players on your team who at any given moment can just be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have a very, very good chance of doing well in this competition. But like you highlighted, Zeke, triple contested here at Dystopia. Yep. I mean, even with that being said, I still think a lot of people probably expect these guys to come out on the right side of things more often than not across the 12 games. But ultimately, it's just too chaotic. You've got to think, right? You know, 3 teams landing at 1 POI, it just can't go well.
It's so chaotic, but I can't lie, Levin. I think we're hearing the whispers. I think socials are hearing the whispers as well. It's like, do they have something cooked up? Are they actually going to be landed there?
I've seen it. I mean, people have been suggesting that maybe these guys might cook up some sort of teamy strat where they're landing at a couple different places over the course of the 12 games. If any team could do that and pull it off, it would be them.
Man, this is crazy. You guys have me so unbelievably excited. But it's time. All right, we got to get these players in and ready. So, Leon, give a big warm welcome to your players.
Chicho and Atris. They got
to your players.
Hey, they're now taking their gameplay to the biggest stage of them all, but can they keep up that performance?
Give it up for Tisco, Striker, and Canoe. Representing Brazil, they're here to prove their worth against the rest of the world. Let's see what they've got.
Poland's pride picks Darm and Demon. fearless. While being up-and-comers throughout the year, they've certainly proved they can shake up EU lobbies, but can they do it on land too?
It's none other than Victor B, Paper, and Epic Whale. Fan favorites of the NA West region, but also heavy hitters in this competition. It is time to lock it in.
From Brazil, Gazetta, Way, and Scarpa, the Major 3 qualifiers are now ready to take the fight on the international stage and show them how lethal the region can be.
A few household names of the NA region, it's Canada, Rapid, and Bolts. This weekend, they'll have to come together to face off against the toughest competitor in the world.
Coming in hot, Seti, Yapko, and Panzer. After switching up ahead of Major 3, these guys displayed instant chemistry making their way to globals. Now the real test starts.
Malor, Mansour, and Adapter have touched down in France. This Middle Eastern trio is not to be underrated, and they'll make sure to leave their mark on the lobby this weekend.
The Wonders from Down Under, Anon, Alex, and Resigns. After a dominating year on OCE, they're taking the battle to the main stage. Watch out, these guys mean business.
Far from gentle, it's Polio, Majors, and Acorn. It's been a big year for these guys, and concluding it with the Globals trophy, that's just the icing on the cake.
That this is going to be your first LAN, Curly, but luckily you have some very experienced players with you. Reet, and of course, a former global champion in Cooper. What has this experience been like so far for you?
I mean, playing with the global championship winner has meant a lot to me. I mean, I'm playing with an official winner here. It's been a great experience so far. Yeah.
And Cooper, you've chosen to play with these guys. What's so special about this team?
I think Curly has a lot of potential. I think what Mero saw in me, I see in him. So I think he's going to be great in the future, a great prospect. I think he's going to be really good.
And how do you feel about your chances of taking back the crown?
It's not looking great in terms of how I'm predicted, but the same thing happened in Copenhagen and I won, so we'll see how it turns out.
Quickly, very quickly, Reet, we've got to have some more positive words about winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna win. I'm excited. I'm excited to go out here and play and do our best, give it a shot.
Bien sûr, let's head to Benji.
Eh oui, Frankie, je suis avec un nouveau trio. Les amis, Lyon, s'il vous plaît, du bruit pour Bolts, Rapid and Canada! Ooh la 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 la. Canada, how do you feel, man? I'm feeling amazing. I love France, baby. Let's go! Come on! Let's go! You're the GOAT that you think you are. Thank you, Canada. You have this experience from big stage like today, but today it's different because of huge French atmosphere. Do you think you can handle the pressure? Pressure's all I need. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to win. Let's go, baby! Make some noise from Canada! And now, back to you, Frank.
Thank you. I had to find Adrian Acorn. Acorn, you've been to many of these Fortnite global lands, but how does this one compare so far?
This is like nothing I've ever seen. This is the craziest land ever.
And how do you keep your focus in-game leading these guys when the crowd is so loud?
We're locked in, we're ready to win, and we're going to bring it home for M8.
And you're going to bring it home for America, potentially. Polio, you could do the back-to-back here in France in front of so many fans. What would that mean?
I mean, a lot. I mean, I can barely even hear you right now, so yeah.
Do you have anything to say to the fans?
Thank you for being here. It's important.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. Good luck today, guys. We need to meet some more teams.
It's your boys, King, Phaser, and P8 Sin. After tearing up both Brazilian and NA lobbies throughout the year, they're here to wrap up the competition in style.
Say hello to Vortex, Mountain, and Goofy. Making it to Lyon was no easy feat, but these guys are coming in with lots of motivation to win it all.
Put your hands together for Pars, Pump, and Baca. NA West did not stand a chance against these guys this year. The question is if they can keep the same pressure in this lobby.
Better late than never. iJob, Cammy, and Hardy have made it to France. And with globals on the line, there's no time to waste. They're here to crush the competition for real.
The pride of Middle East, Hero, Halad, and FKS. Proving their worth throughout the year is tough, but proving it on the global stage is even tougher. It's time to lock in, boys.
Make some noise for Clicks, Higgs, and Ionzo! Going home empty-handed just isn't an option, and with the trophy directly in sight, these guys are bringing their A-game.
Get loud for Murim, Wixie, and Buyuriru. Qualifying for Major 3 was just the start. With their eyes on the prize, they look to take the trophy home.
Mix and focus and Upwell in the building, everybody! And this trio's talent has brought them so far already. But it's time to go the distance. Let's see what they've got.
Walking in now, Art School and Sauco, all the way from NA West with a major win. They're looking to bring their domination all the way to the global stage.
Give it up for Yuma, Koyota, and Brise. After dominating Asia this year, now they're ready to prove that they've got what it takes to win it all at the international level.
Ladies and gentlemen, Furious, Vanya, and Pixie with a strong home crowd behind them today. These guys are destined to go all the way. Pressure has never been higher.
So, obviously, I had to come and keep the seat warm for Vanya Boo Boo because I know there are a lot of fans here in France who cannot wait to meet this team. Here they come, Pixie in front. I know we have some Havoc fans here at Lyon. Pixie, you've been to many of these global lands. How great is it to know you have Havoc fans waiting to see you play?
It's amazing. It's the best ever.
And I know that you're going to put on a show for them. Let's come over here then. Marius, I know that Germany loves you, but now France loves you too. What's that like?
It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. It's such a good feeling.
I can imagine. And Vanya, they call you Vanya Boo Boo. You spent a lot of time with the fans. What would you like to say to them here in France? Sometimes actions speak louder than words, which is why I'm gonna say, let's head to you, Benji.
Et merci Frankie. Je suis avec un nouveau trio. Ils viennent encore des États-Unis. S'il vous plaît, du bruit pour Higgs, Helzo, and Clicks. Wow. Clicks, how do you feel, man?
I feel great. This is going to be the one. I'm bringing it home.
Il le dit, il vient pour gagner. Il est chaud, l'atmosphère lui fait pas peur. Il vient pour gagner. C'est top 1 ou rien pour Clicks. Clicks, we know that you land at Supernova, and I heard that Fredoxy helped to train you for the spawn. Tell me more about the story.
Yeah, he helped me train. Anybody who lands Supernova, you'll see what happens.
Pour faire simple, en fait, le trio de Clicks spawn atterrit dans la ville de Supernova et il y a un ami à lui, Fredoxy, qui l'a pendant des semaines entraîné gentiment parce qu'ils sont amis et c'est grâce en partie à Fredoxy qu'aujourd'hui Clicks se sent à l'aise et c'est pour ça qu'il spawn à Supernova. Last question, what's the objective? Only top one or nothing?
It's top one or nothing, and I gotta make sure this crowd is repping the set. XF forever.
Du bruit, s'il vous plaît, pour Higgs, Helzo, and Clicks!
I had to grab King from the Brazilian region, also representing Argentina here in Lyon today. I've got Ricardo to translate. King, you're so experienced on LAN that you won in Brazil, and then went to North America because you're taking this so seriously. What did you learn from playing in a different region?
So, você foi para os Estados Unidos para melhorar. Por quê? O que você conseguiu tirar dessa viagem?
Ok. A gente foi para a NA porque é uma região muito diferente, muito melhor que a Brasil. Então fomos lá treinar para conseguir dar o máximo.
So they went to North America that has a better quality. So they were able to have better practice and to show up today the best they can do.
And you and Fazer are an experienced duo. Now, of course, you're playing as a trio. Do you think that trios is your favorite way to play this game?
Para mim, eu prefiro pouco mais duo, mas eu acho que o meu melhor nível é no trio.
So they like to play duo better, but they think that their trio is very strong.
I think you're going to be very strong. Thank you so much for talking to me. Obrigada, guys. Leon, please make some noise if you want to meet some more players. Vector Ring!
Walking in now, it's Shadow, Sphinx, and Muzz. The high-tier lobbies just could not contain them. And now it's time for them to unleash their true potential on the global stage.
The terrors of EU, Flixie, Veto, and Vico, having established themselves among the best of the best, they only lack one thing, a trophy. This weekend, they look to take it all.
All the way from Asia, Razzle, Raito, and Tay-Tay. It's a long way from home, but the Major 2 champions are here to deliver the performance of a lifetime.
Hold up, it's Pablo, Fredoxy, and Chino. These guys have been on fire this year. With a Major 3 championship under their belt, they're looking to continue that streak.
Show some love for Ping, Malabuka, and Wax. The venue may as well be home face this weekend, and with so much support behind them, these guys are set to head straight to the top.
Give it up for Chad Reason and Mr. Savage. You know them, you love them, and now they're here to impress France this weekend. Let's see them climb to the top of that leaderboard.
Never count out at me because Snowy, Ryu, and Zod are here, and these guys mean business. Plenty of motivation, but now it's time to showcase that the Middle East is all about.
Domination is key for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. A stellar year for the trio with all eyes on the trophy. They're not playing for second place here. It's all or nothing.
Hold on, it's Kazi, Tinka, and Aspect. Representing the Oshi region this weekend, these guys are here to ensure that they'll be remembered for more than just their potential.
Make some noise, it's Braids, Visuals, and a Minish. Crushing the competition this year and making it this far comes with expectations. Let's see if they can deliver.
Bienvenue on Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache! After a year of causing chaos in lobbies on EU, now they're ready to bring the heat to Lyon on the global stage. It's showtime!
Have got players from 2 French teams here in Lyon. First of all, from Havoc, we have Wax. I can definitely hear the Havoc fans over here. Thank you, Wax. And over here, representing the Gentle Maids, we have Ping and Malabuka. Now, Malabuka, I know it's going to be really hard for you to hear me right now because the fans really want to show how much they love you. But do you have any words for them?
Guys, keep supporting us. Someone from Gentlemaids will win.
Is that what you think? Qu'est-ce que vous pensez? Will they win today? I think the crowd are on your side today. One more question though. Do you think that Europe can face off and take this trophy home?
Yeah, 100%. Europe is taking this trophy.
Let's head to my favorite European, Benji.
Et je suis avec un nouveau trio et pas n'importe lequel. Regardez, messieurs, dames, avec moi, du bruit pour Reason, Chap and Mr. Savage! Savage, hi. I remember that you got your call at the last major, at the last game, at the last moment, and now you're here on the stage. How do you feel?
I feel great. I'm excited to be here. Bonjour, Leon. How we doing?
Like you can see, you have a huge, massive fan base here in France. Do you have so many words, maybe in French, for your French guys?
I don't know that much French, but bonjour, je m'appelle Martin. Comment tu t'appelles? That's all I know in French, but yeah.
Une légende dans tous les domaines. Avec lui, je ne sais pas si vous êtes au courant ici, mais il y a quelqu'un dans ce trio qui parle mieux français encore, et même très bien. C'est Chap. Pourquoi? Eh ben parce qu'il vient aussi un peu de France, il est un peu de chez nous, sa maman elle est française, alors il parle français. Chap, est-ce que tu as un mot, ou plusieurs même à dire, un message à transmettre à tous les fans français ici aujourd'hui?
Je sais pas, je suis juste content d'être ici et j'espère de ramener la coupe à la maison.
Hey! Guys, make some noise for Mr. Savage, Chap and Reason! And now, back to you, Frankie.
Thank you very much, Benji. Now, the Gentlemates fans have been waiting for this moment, I think. Because earlier, on the big screen, when we showed their faces, there was so much noise, so much cheering in this audience. And I know they are just getting warmed up. So please, boys, on your feet. Leon, make some noise for Swizzy, Queasy, and Thirstash! Queasy, I have to come to you first. You've had a couple of second places at Global Championships. How do you make it #1 this time?
That's the goal. I mean, second twice, and if I have these fans and the atmosphere, should make it.
And Swizzy, for you, hang on a second. What's this? What's this that you want to shake my hand? What's this? Oh, okay, right. Show me how it's done. It's hard with a microphone, but I'm managing. Swizzy, it seems like you've already got a good friendship with the Gentlemates.
Yeah.
And what would you like to say to them as they chant your name?
I didn't hear.
Have you any words for the Gentlemates?
Gentle.
Gentlemates! Do you want to have a go, Mustache?
I feel amazing, but I want to hear one thing. Gentle! No. Gentle!
Nice. Okay, guys, I think I should probably let you get ready to load onto that battle bus because the teams here on Outstage in Lyon are locked and loaded and ready to go.
Guys, I have one word for you. Chill. Okay? The way this audience is going crazy for these players, it's got me so excited. Seeing them now take their seats, interact, getting their thoughts. We're getting close to kicking off the competition. I guess the only question I have for you guys is, who do you think will end in the top 5? I want to start with you, Viv. You got you got some insight. You put together a little list for us. Why don't you talk us through it?
Yeah, I guess that's the big question this weekend. Who is going to perform well? I went ahead. I kept the NA bias going. I've got Acorn, I've got Andrews, and I've got Poyo winning the whole thing. I mean, I've talked about it before. I think their situation is just too good. Uncontested, all 12 games. If that remains, I think it should be easy for them. The only thing that people might be looking at is with Canada both kind of sneaking in there, top 5. They just seem so confident. Bolt is playing so well. Kanada's been here before. I think they're going to sneak in.
I like your list. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kanada's trio. I think they have a really good setup. I think Kanada understands what it means to be on this stage on this occasion. I think they could really surprise some people today.
Okay, all right. What about you, Levin? What's your top 5 looking like?
My top 5 is looking pretty similar, I'd say. Have we got any Gentlemates in the building? Any Gentlemates over here? Because I'm with you, Vivid. I think the team that's going to take it. I think it's going to Gentlemates. I think it's going Let's take a look at my top 5. Right now, I'm rocking with Acorn, Pollo, and the Ages. I think when you look at how things are set up for them, it just looks too good. It looks too good. Pollo has that experience of winning. I think it's going to carry them. The crowd's going to carry them. I also got Marius Vanya Pixie in there. They've had such a strong year in EU. They've had adversity that they've overcome. Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache in there. I think the team that maybe might surprise people in my list, I got Demush, Dom, and Pix. I think these guys have been unbelievable all year over on EU. And they're a very new, inexperienced team. All 3 of these guys are playing at their first ever LAN right now. And so you might be thinking, Levin, how can you be so confident of these guys? Every time we've put them in a situation where we've gone, you're inexperienced, you shouldn't be able to perform, they over-deliver. And I think they'll do the same here this weekend.
Man, the list looks so good, guys. I am so excited, and we hope that if you were not able to join us here in person, that we hope that these roars from this crowd breaks through, that you can hear it, and in those moments, get excited with us. This is the Global Championship. After 6 games today, another 6 tomorrow, we will have new champions, prize money, a trophy, Acts of Champions 3.0. It is crazy to think we are finally here. Are you guys hoping to see anything out of today? Maybe it's just something out of game 1. Maybe you're hoping to see a trio end well. What are you hoping to see today?
You know, Zeke kind of always asks me this question going into like each one of the majors, right? We spent a lot of time on the desk together, and there's really only one thing that I ever want when we jump into a competition like this. I just want good Fortnite. I want to be entertained, and I cannot lie, I don't think that it's even possible for me to not be entertained.
All I ever want is a good moment. That's all I ever want. I think we're going to see plenty of them across the next 12 games, but today I think we're going to see people really make their mark on this lobby. Who's going to come out there and get that first win, man? I mean, that's always the most exciting part. You know, get the jitters out, get that first win out of the way, and then we start rolling.
Yeah, dude, again, it's like, you know, obviously there is definitely some players who have experience on LAN, but this crowd just changes everything. And especially, you got to think you have to come in so locked in. If something doesn't go your way and you're eliminated out of spawn, like you said earlier, you just have to sit there and watch everyone else take one step away from you closer to that trophy, right? So how are we going to try and keep mentals under control under these circumstances?
I mean, I've got no idea. How are you going to keep your voices under control, right? The players are kind of walking out. I'm over here trying to scream at them like, yeah, let's go. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't do that so much. I don't know. I mean, I feel like even commenting to your teammates might be a little hard sometimes, right? Especially when we get into the end game, right? The crowd's going to be popping off at every single one of those eliminations. That keeps happening. It's going to be crazy. There's definitely going to be some stage of adaptability for every single one of our players. I mean, we talk about it all the time, Levin, experience, but you can have experience for this.
And look, Vivid, you're someone who's played on amazing stages in your career, right? And I don't think you ever played in an atmosphere like this one, man. It's intense out here.
No, I definitely haven't. I think this one is going to go down in the history books, and we haven't even jumped into game number 1 yet.
Man, you were talking about game number 1. There it is. The battle bus is ready to go. Once again, the pinnacle of Fortnite. The very best trios will now begin the fight to the top. Who will walk away as a global championship trio? Who will take hold of the Acts of Champions 3.0? And who will take home that unbelievable trophy? The competition starts right here, right now. Once again, Leo, let him know, because the competition starts here.
The time has come. The Fortnite Global Championship, Taco, all year long, 33 teams from around the world have been battling from major to major to major just to get the opportunity here. If it's not for the money, if it's not for the fame, it's to call yourself the best in the world.
It's all about that player pride, Jacob. We know just how much is truly contained amongst so many of these trios competing here today. But starting things off hot already, this is an off-spawn fight that we have been expecting to see. And what I really want to know is the shake-up, the outcome. Prodoxy trying to get that first touchdown. Prodoxy gets the first weapon. Sure enough, Haters on the run, still trying to see if he can score away from this, but Pablo, he's been taken down. Chino's fallen too. It's Tayson with the comeback. Prodoxy trying to see if if he can lock it down for his team. But Tayson determined to remove Proxy's team, and sure enough, disaster strikes. Proxy's trio fully down and out for the count, and Tayson has claimed the area.
Already one of our contested fights 1-0, and do you see this already? They're already not landing at Dystopia City. Everybody was talking about it. They heard the rumors. I kept my ears to the streets all week long to figure out what their game plan was, and scrims leading up to this weren't necessarily netting the best results, and now you see them already over towards Foxy Floodgates. And what this does not only affect Visuals, Braids, and Minish, this also affects Agers, Acorn, and Pollo. This is the team. They typically trade off Surge into the distance. Now they're already disrupting the game plan.
They're not the only ones. Veno, Flixie, Vico, they've got Rise in their sights, completely tackling all opposition here at Canyon Crossing. Rise doing what he can to try and stay alive, but entirely too many players to overcome. Veno breaks right through, and that's going to be the first knock. Another elimination tallied up here for Vico, Veno, and Flixie. Coyota, the sole survivor of this exchange.
And Coyota has pulled out a ton of tricks throughout his career, both online and in global events just like this. But early on in game number one, he's already being forced to play out some of those tricks. He has to disengage, stay alive a little bit longer, and try to have a chance back. But you hear the crowd in the background, Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache uncontested at the Hive. And some are looking at this could be one of the best POIs. You get the experience for your OXR rank, the medallion, the mythic weapons, a lot of extra heals at the POI itself, and then the elevation. Kelly and Mini Miner were breaking it down so that way they could start to build that base early and accumulate the Storm Surge, so that way later on in the game they could easily start to rotate around.
And most importantly of all, they're uncontested here at Hive. Whether that stays true throughout the course of this weekend, well, that'll be determined by how things develop, but other teams still caught up in a little bit of battle processing at the start of this match. Dystopia City heating up. Epic Whale, Paper, Victor V, they made it very clear they had zero intentions of ever leaving this POI. So Tete, Raito, Razzle, they're gonna have to force some sort of a conclusion to this exchange before the third parties start to trickle in.
Yeah, and it's not just Cold and his trio that are over on this side of the map that they have to watch out for. You see a team at the bottom of your mini-map. They can easily try to rotate towards the north, disrupt what's going on. So that's going to be one of the key aspects to a fight like this, but you're already seeing a flank going around from Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. They're ready to take advantage no matter what happens here, no matter who comes out on top. It's going to be them, but Tay takes a big shot. Epic Whale, the 6-time FNCS champion, dealing a massive amount of damage.
Tay down to his last little bits of HP though. Epic Whale, he's gonna have to take a moment to also get some relief. Paper, nice supportive fire, and that's a big elimination cleanup onto Tay. But now, Cold, Ritual, they're starting to close in. They're interested in everything that Raito has to offer, and that's gonna be the first knock here for Cold. An immediate elimination, but they've already signaled to Epic Whale, Paper, and Victor V that they've got company. Shields are cracked. Peterbot's not letting anybody escape his sights. Peterbot's aim is just notoriously strong, and he is chasing them full on key with those crash pads. He might be able to make it before they can pull off the double revive. He's challenging the wall. Victor V trying to do what he can to defend. Victor V goes in big time. Peterbot's shut down. Cold, Ritual. They don't need this. They don't want this. They're looking to see if they can still clean up the exchange, but without Peterbot, they're going to be forced to temporarily retreat.
This is almost exactly how it was playing in some of those practice games. But this time, Paper, Epic Whale, and Victor V, they're being the aggressors in some of these situations. They try to disengage. Epic Whale goes down, but Victor V does it again. He was a huge part of them even making it to the global stage, clutch after clutch when his team went down through 4 different drop spots. But now the foot has been turned. Cold and Ritual now need to start to think in and outside of the box. How do we get our IGL back? This is exactly what Victor V did, from the revive to in the box, shutting down Peterbot early.
Just so greedy there by P. Victor V doing exactly what he needs to, showcasing what kind of a fragger he is. But Atris, Tayson, in a spot of trouble here. A couple of splashes, gonna ensure that Chicho is still good to go. But Chicho, he needs an opportunity here for his team to provide a little bit more backup. FKS trying to apply pressure from a separate angle. Halad, Hero, also looking to see if they can get some good aggressive fire through. But things are just picking up at Rangers Ruin. And Tayson gonna be able to pull things out to a little bit of a standstill now. Chicho, Atrus, Tayson, they might not actually have to force this battle.
Yeah, it seems like they're overall just kind of prioritizing trying to get as much surge as possible. You see their material count relatively low in comparison to after winning that spawn fight. You'd think they'd try to get as much resources as possible, but they know when it comes to Storm Surge, it's essentially currency. It essentially allows you to freely rotate around the map versus other teams that might have to slowly rotate, sit in their surge bases a little bit longer, and figure out what they're going to do. But you see, they figured it out quick for Cold and Ritual. They already get the reboot back on up, and they're ready to play this one out because they're making way on over to Floxy already.
Still a really big wake-up call, though, for this trio. They have got to be careful. We know just how capable they are at finding those eliminations, and they're not the only ones. Pollo chasing down Razzle, Agers and Acorn right behind them. These guys just staying so tight-knit and rolling through this map. They're barely looted up at this point too, Jacob. It just looks like Surge is all theirs to control.
Yeah, you can kind of see the crash pads, no audio. Razzle didn't even hear or see it coming. And you see there's no knock, straight elimination. So that team, that was the third one from Dystopia City, is down and out. But fight after fight, Arc, I did see it in the feed. He already got one elimination, and I was talking to them a bunch. You know, me being an NA West fan, this was their game plan all along. Contested or not, they're going to push either towards the north or the south. They feel like these teams are easy to fight, and already that confidence continues to build. But Goofy is just trying to slow things down just a little bit, and monster shot to take down the shield of Salco. But Arc and School, the IGL and the Fragger, they're still there. They're holding the walls and making sure nobody can get out of this one.
I mean, being honest, Arc's been running it all week long inside of the scrim lobbies, inside of the practice room. He is more than content to take up a box fight with anybody, and especially if he's got his teammates right next to him. You can see the confidence from the NA West boys, but Oshi still doing their best to hold their own despite being down a player. It doesn't seem to be deterring them. They know they can't really leave this area because they're likely to be third party. They've got to just find a way to delay and hope that they have that little bit of a saving grace from another team entering the exchange.
Uh-oh, I see somebody rotating relatively close. They said, hey, where's our invitation? We want to join this party. We want to figure out how we need to approach this situation, and they're lurking all the way underneath. So it's going to be Salco, School, and Arc, the ones that need to watch out just a little bit. Vortex and Goofy, they're just trying to hold their ground as much as possible. But this is the thing, against a team like Arc, School, and Salco, when you try to hold your ground like this, that's for them a sign of weakness. They're going to continue to put that pressure down. If you look at their material as well, they don't need to disengage out of this fight. They can wait as long as they want because in essence, they're just denying you time, they're denying you opportunity, and denying the chance to get that reboot back.
But it might not be as prime as what it initially appeared, not with Queasy hovering in the distance. You can see they got a little bit of elevation to work with too. They're bound to take notice of what's going down. Elsewhere across the map though, south of Hive, King, PA's in, Phaser getting fraggy up against Scarpa and Way. And that's gonna be an easy cleanup there for King's team. Feeling really good about that aggressive start.
Now over towards Supernova, and already early on, Taco, you can kind of see where the zone is favoring a little bit towards the north, massively towards the west. So even though Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo haven't had to rotate just yet, they can focus on trying to get as much Storm Surge as possible. They've run into trouble. There's a speed bump in their plan. That's Reet, Cooper, and Curly. And he was very vocal, Reet was. He said, hey, we understand what's going on around the lobby. We've just got to make some things happen. They have 2 early eliminations. That comes with Storm Surge itself, and they're continuing to rotate through so many other teams' loop paths and pathways.
There's also just so much confidence behind Ree and just teaming with a player that has so much faith in themselves. It's bound to just have that trickle-down effect to his teammates. Not to say that Cooper and Curly aren't clearly thinking of themselves in the same way, but it is a huge positive. But every single time this weekend, Jacob, that we see the Gentleman's Malibuka, Ping, loading across the screen here, just waiting to find their reposition opportunity. That sole elimination on Malibuka right now, but tailing just behind Yapko, Panzer, and Seti. This could be
disastrous if they don't realize what's coming up behind them.
Yeah, there's no audio visuals that far away, so they're just going to try to get some easy surge. You see the launch pads coming out. That's a huge signal. Seti and Panzer have to kind of second guess if they want to go for it, because Yapko's just getting beam targeted out of the sky. Just one shot left is all they need, but he possibly leaves that render distance and figures out a way to survive. Heads up to Seti and the Panzer. They not only building that to try to fire back on him, but that coincidentally enough shielded their teammate Yapko for him to survive.
They fully protected their trio mate. That's just excellent team play, but pulling back, Baka, Pars, Pump, a little bit tangled up right now north of Supernova Academy. Saad, Snowy, and Ryu, though, arguably in a slightly worse position, but the intention is clear. These two teams very likely to clash here, Jacob. They could both definitely utilize Surge. We know just how high those numbers and that threshold can truly climb.
Yeah, and these are two teams. I think they land relatively close to one another, almost contesting each other even. During some of those practice games, they were actually kind of feeling each other out, fighting it out, but neither team kind of won that scenario, no matter if they won the fight or not. So they're trying to take a slower approach, but that means they're rotating parallel with the zone moving towards the north, stay toward the dead side of it all and just try to make sure they have the best chances to survive what could be a very, very chaotic storm surge if it does deactivate. And that's why you're seeing so many teams taking that proactive approach to try to gain some elevation, some high ground, and even if it means fighting it out on the surge base.
Hero, he knows Wixie is low. Nobody there to provide a little bit of backup either. That could be the first knock here. Hero with the big opening. FKS going to capitalize immediately, throws that body back into their box space control, and now FKS trying to make the approach from above. Just so aggressive though. Hero's gonna be forced to pull back just a little bit. Too much firepower breaking through, but Buyuriru just not healthy enough. Barely enough HP, and he can't escape from FKS. Aetherus even getting a little bit more involved from a distance, and this is part of the problem with trying to take some of these extended box fights. You just got these teams from so far away beaming through your walls.
Yeah, just got yoinked away. But Kanata, Rapid, and Bulge, Kanata's perfection continues in terms of qualifying for every single FNCS Grand Finals in the history of FNCS. But I think he coming with a different energy this time around. If you remember a few years ago, contested against Malibu and Thomas at the Global Championship, he just had a different mindset. He's like, I'm contested, it's not gonna go well. This time, he's confident. He says, hey, we're going to win. And the way they've been playing lately, they have as good a chance as anybody at taking that top spot.
A little bit of a sleeper, maybe under the radar team there, but Vanya, Mariez, Pixie, one of our major champion winners in EU, and now looking to see if they can extend their dominance across the globals stage. Vanya, Mariez, Pixie, just steadily trying to creep up on the opposition, but thinking twice, recognizing a couple of the teams local to their area. They don't want to overextend here, but for Mariez, he's just waiting to see whether or not he can break out these floors from underneath Valor and Mansour, doing a decent job to prevent Vanya, Pixie, and Mariez from an outright collapse.
Yeah, and they're just kind of playing as calculated as they can. We've seen a lot of these fights kind of not necessarily end as smoothly and as cleanly as some of these trios would expect, especially with so many third-party potential there. You know, we saw Aetherus just kind of yoink that elimination away early on in this game, and now Vanya just trying to target it after. He feels like he has him soloed out, dropped him down a few layers, but he's able to catch himself and not let this pressure get to him too much. But they're in the zone, Taco, and that kind of depletes any opportunity from heal off later on in the game the longer and longer you stay in this situation. But even if they win this here, they have to be careful. One team in front of them out of zone. You saw Chap, you saw Reason, Mr. Savage. They're towards the north of them, so this is not going to be as dead side or rotate as they think it will.
But the main thing that I'm noticing, Jacob, is that Vanya, Mariez, they're not carrying any white heal, so unless Pixie actually has something to work with, yeah, these guys are going to just have to get out of this position. They can't afford to keep tanking these early storm ticks. It's just not worth it. But on their way out, Balon and Mansour definitely not going to make it easy. Cole, Ritual, Peterbot, they might have just found Flixie and Venno with Vico, but for right now, Rangers Ruin, what seems like it might have been heating up, these guys are actually looking to kind of slow it down.
Yeah, and for, you know, Ritual and his trio, they just kind of have scraps. They got sticks and stones. And look at this on the other side. Multiple minis, big pots, full health, almost max mats. And even though they don't necessarily have that information on one another, that is a great decision for them to kind of go their separate ways, because I would almost give that one up to Veno and his trio if that did fight it out. Continuing looking around, Cammy, how the eye drop all the way from the Shining, span the bridge. And honestly, even though they're on different teams, Seti, Cammy, I don't know if it would have been the same global championship without him, but Storm Surge finally showing its face, 602 damage above the threshold. As much as I want to feel confident, we know that can change in the blink of an eye.
Oh, easily, but Acorn and Agers, they might just be the ones to actually intervene here. They seemingly have favorable positioning, but Cammy, a little bit of pressure applied with the approach now. Malibuka, Ping, and Walks just trying to be wary. There is so much company in that area. It's very easy. Just one window edit for too long, you could easily be domed and taken down.
Uh-oh, 321 damage below the threshold. This is a two-time NA West champions. In Major 1, they won 6 out of 12 games, just dominating the region. But contested off spawn, it tends to do things to you, especially when the team is running away. But they're still hot on the hills. These are still the two teams rotating parallel to one another. But Baka, Pars, and Pump, they've now ran out of options. Their hand is being forced, and they have to go in because Storm Surge will activate, and every 7 seconds they will take 25 damage.
But the worst part still, Saad not actually in the same position. His team relatively healthy for their surge, at least for right now, Jacob. Bars, Baka, Pump, they're going to take a moment to pause, but now with these Storm ticks starting to break away at their shields, they're going to be forced to fight it. Baka already out of this battle. Pars shortly after, but now Saad, Snowy, Ryu, this is a huge come up. These guys just got a little loot bomb package delivered straight to their front door.
And I forgot to mention, if Storm Surge takes you down, you don't get knocked. You get straight eliminated back to the lobby, but I did see it in the feed. A couple of these guys kind of putting it all into the test as Cooper lands a great shot onto Valor. You see him dropping him down, trying to finish the fight. 1v3 situation, and he is just hitting haymaker after haymaker as he gets another knock in this situation. 319 above, Cooper with the 1v3.
That couldn't have been a better time to clutch things up, but Cooper's still gonna have to essentially play his life here. There are too many players that are going to prevent him from finding that breath of relief. 42 below even, inside of that damage threshold for Surge. Jacob, it is so sad to see after what a phenomenal clutch he just pulled off, and with Walks, Malibuka, and Ping pressing behind him, that's going to be tough to actually survive. But Peterbot just continues to have to deal with playing the defensive here. Bold, Ritual, and Peterbot now looking to be on the move, but they're still just barely above this damage threshold. They're going to have to turn and fight eventually.
They're sitting on a teeter-totter right now when it comes to Storm Surge, and it's knocking them above, below, and it's essentially doing a little bit of mind games for a team like this. And you see his material count, 3 builds left. They almost have to go onto the next team they see, but it's Veno and his trio, it's Kanata and his trio. There's so many dangerous players all around. They're just happy that they're 73 above the damage threshold, waiting for the next zone, but they have to do something because everyone around them is being proactive. They see them out the weak team. Vigo, Veno, Flixie, they're targeting over. Pole goes down. That's Kanata stealing away that elimination. Veno's gonna clean that one up, so points go to Kanata's team. Loot goes to Veno's.
EU on one side, Middle East on the other, and Ritual, the last man standing, but not for much longer, fully eliminated. That is a huge blow here in game 1, but Vico, Veno, Flixie, now they might have drawn the attention of the lobby. They're gonna take a moment to pause, replenish their shields. Halad and Hero still doing what they can, but they're lingering just outside. They're gonna have to still try and push past Tayson's trio, and that's gonna be hard to tunnel through because Jacob, with the way that the zone is pulling over resistance, so much water, so much exposure, teams are just burning through materials.
Yeah, this one's going to get messy. There's one lone team. I think they're a duo on the other side of that island already. They don't have to worry about anything. Meanwhile, they have to make decisions here on this side of the zone. Do you stack up the beach coast as long as possible with different players, or do you try to make that daring play, try to get towards the center? Because who knows, if the zone goes south, that'll be a play that works out for you, but if it pulls north, if it pulls towards the east, that's when they're going to have some troubles.
Take a look at what's happening on height though. Queasy, Merstache, and Swizzy. Can you think of anything different different to ever take place in an endgame lobby, Jacob, than seeing Queasy immediately try to challenge and take height for himself. You can already tell the Gentlemates are going absolutely ballistic right now. Swizzy and Merstache just following through Queasy's commands here out of their IGL, but they've got the entire lobby in their sights. It's all about maintaining their positional control.
Oh, they actually found themselves 66 below, but you can see immediately with that minigun and some pre-edits, they're able to kind of take him down, grab that elimination. Loot and Storm Surge all being accumulated in a blink of an eye, kind of leaving Pixie and Marius by themselves. The good thing, though, is they're 568 damage above the threshold. The bad thing, though, their loadout, their material count, that one is not looking good. 5 bandages. Luckily, they don't have any HP missing yet, but they have a max pull all across the water to the other side of that island. It's not going to be easy for a single person in this game, but there goes Malabuka. Nice drop on the Hottie. He needs it, and he needs it now because he's barely above that damage threshold.
And that's the kind of refresh that Marius was hoping to find, but instead it's going to be all Malabuka. But no, he's going to actually be forced to keep charging forward. He doesn't even get a chance to try and collect that body loot off of Hottie. Fortunately, he still has a good amount of materials and just beaming a minute as he trails behind him. The Fizz Crash Pad combination just taking him so far, but when you're in this position, Jacob, as a solo over the water, you're just hoping out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, you just got to take it one step at a time. You can't get too ahead of yourself, especially if you hear action going down around you. You got to use that as a distraction, try to get out, but Marius finds himself in a tough spot. Well above the damage threshold, and another elimination on the eye drop, but he is by himself as a solo with a rotation to make. Now he's just getting ticked away little by little until Halad is able to finally take him down. That's a big confidence boost for a team like that.
Of course, but Height has had a couple of developments here. Striker and Kadu, we saw them posturing a little bit earlier on before that last rotate. This next pool is going to send everyone packing, though. Reason Mr. Savage Chap definitely setting up, but Visual's actually going to be one of the first to try and move into the next position. Cisco, Kaidu, Striker, though, right up above. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts trying to see if they can be a threat. But if you're going to be in this height position, you've got to make sure that you are controlling, funneling players away from height, away from secondary height even. But with the crash pads in play, Jacob, that's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, you got to watch out, too. Chicho, Riz, Tayson, they're underneath. They're probably having their eye on the high ground. Cisco's trying to put good damage onto King Phaser PH Sin, but it backfires on him, forcing him to retreat just a little bit. As Tayson just building his way up, he knows he doesn't want to be stuck on that mess on the low ground. And even NA West in the elimination feed going crazy as Arkansas take down King Phaser and PH Sin with a little help from Chap.
But Tayson's got such an excellent position in that secondary height layer now, shooting towards that front side of zone. It's only Clicks and Iyamzo. They lost Higgs somewhere along the way. Iyamzo doing what he can to claim a little bit of space here next to Clicks, but ideally, they're going to have to duke it out in the low ground, Jacob. They need a big refresh. They've got to keep that material count high, but Merstache, he's actually falling the mid ground, getting a little bit too chaotic, and he just couldn't break through.
Yeah, Chicho's the one that gets the down, but Kadu's the one that steals away the elimination and getting a lot of loot for their efforts. Queasy trying to do the same thing. Steal whatever is left back from Merstache. And you're seeing there's a decent amount of loot. The Flowberry Fizz, probably the most important part of the entire loadout that he has in that inventory is Benno, Quixie, Vico. They're still down below. They're trying to claim space, and with a minigun, that's just going to be a little bit easier. But with no extra shield, Vico's got to play a little careful here not to take too much damage. Swizzy, Queasy, same thing, but they have multiple splashes. They got the slurp juice. They got the key to success in their inventory.
But they don't have the materials, so that's why Queasy just drops all the way down to ultimate low. They're hoping that they can pick up an elimination or two and then maybe look to try and challenge for a retake on height. They know how scuffed everybody's looking down here, but Vico finds that elimination onto Art. That's going to be a massive refresh here. Vico, though, getting beamed the moment that he tries to make a layer swap. He is immediately put down into the dirt. Clicks fighting for his life, still in the low ground, but he just can't hang. Offball's going to be the one to take him out.
Yeah, even though Clicks went down, the damage has been felt for that team that he just took out 2 different players in a tough situation. That's Tayson, Chicho, they're trying to look up, but that minigun is just causing so many distractions. They have to focus on getting to the front side of the zone, but they're being persistent. Down goes high ground. This is their chance. They're looking up. Striker gets cracked. He gets knocked altogether. Disco's taking damage. He's gonna fall as well. Chicho is absolutely insane. As him and Tayson, they go from the on-spawn battle against Prodoxy to high ground in the end game.
But they're still gonna need materials. Chicho has 0 build left to his name. All of his material count dropped to Tayson. Swizzy still holding his own as well. Deep inside of these ultimate low ground layers, he's looking to try and maybe cut off bolts in the process, but Kanata, Rapid, can the double revive actually be a success? And sure enough, it's a fully intact trio versus the sea of duos. Reason finds a big elimination onto Swizzy though, and Chap going to immediately drop back. Tayson still on the high ground. This is looking primed up for Tayson to bring it home.
That was a huge knock for both. They finished that elimination on the Reason. This is a 2v2v2, and the only team alive with all 3 is going to be Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. Ow, that's not my fault. I didn't curse him, but it is now just one less player that they have to worry about. Tayson trying to drop down low, but maybe a little too soon. Chicho as well. He gets shut down, and Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts steal the game.
Max Nada strikes again, and this time it's for the victory royale. He's been saying how confident he's been feeling all week long, Jacob, and after that performance, I can't help but believe him.
Let's go, Kanada! You were telling Benji how confident you were going into this competition. You were telling me in the player lounge yesterday you felt like this was your year. Now you have the first victory royale, but you made it look simple.
I mean, to be honest, Rapid IGL like a goat right now. I'm just following. I'm the minigun in the whole lobby, and we just winning the game for free.
Winning the game for free. I don't think the other trio is going to let you have an easy ride in future. For you, Bolt, what was it like being caught in the chaos? The 3 of you going into the end game.
Yeah, I mean, Rapid was just full tarping. I'm literally just looking with shocking out on my wall. Everything was a max. Guy on my double edit, 120 on height, Nada goes up from the back, dead on both. Literally a go.
First game, first victory royale. That was the plan?
Yeah. First of many.
First of many what?
Wins. Victory royales. 4.
Ah, il mise sur 4 victoires. Messieurs, dames, du bruit pour le trio de Canada, Rapid and Bolts!
I'm enjoying this. A confident prediction of 4 from your IGL, but Kanada, I think you're expecting more wins.
Oh, we got at least 3 more wins in a bag. I already said backstage I'm doing at least 4 wins in this entire tournament for free.
All right then, well guys, I'll let you get ready for the second lobby of the day. Leon, let them hear you! Bolt, Kanada, and of course Rapid. Let's head to the break. We'll be back soon with more Fortnite.
Do you get scared? Or do you feel lost? I can smell fear. I've been there before. But you made it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to notice that you got what you wanted. We don't got time to cry right now. Only got time to focus. On a wait list, I was armed and dangerous. Take a shot, leave them faceless. I was armed and dangerous. On a whole different level. I can see why they hate it. I was armed and dangerous. I was armed and dangerous. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I'm locked and loaded. You should have noticed. Been focused, you should know. Locked and loaded. You better watch your back, cause we aiming at your head. I don't need a pick me up and I don't need a rest. Knock down, top down, hit him in his leg. Pull up with the trio and my eyes all red. 1, 2, 3 of us can't compete with us. Everybody screaming like they get it. Believe in us, believe in us, believe in us, believe in us. 2 hits on the wait list. I was armed and dangerous. Take a shot, leave him faceless. I was armed and dangerous. On a whole different level. I can see why they hate it. I was armed and dangerous. I was armed and dangerous. You should have noticed. I've been focused. You should have known I've been loaded. You should have noticed. I've been
Game 1 of the Global Championship, and we swing for the fences. I cannot believe Kanata comes out and gets the first game on the day. Mentals, way up. Kanata stocks, way up. Absolutely amazing to see the trio shine in this moment. And I love that we kind of got those interviews right after, right? Because normally in majors, we don't get that. We just like, oh, they're amazing, whatever. To go right to them, hey, talk us through, to get each and every one kind of saying, hey, this is what I was doing, this was my part, this was their part. Oh my gosh, man. Vivid, I love this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of reaction we wanted. No better person to go ahead and win game number 1. We know Kanata, every single time he pops up on that stage, he's going to let us know exactly what just happened. But Levin, I mean, we're kind of watching through this game. There's so much stuff happening throughout the entirety of these moving zones, and we never really checked in with him. And then I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Rapid's alive? Bolts is alive? Kanata's alive? The full trio was up.
I mean, I love the celebration there, man. Look at it. He actually celebrated more than people who have won global championship. You know, I don't think we've seen people celebrate like this when they even win. And it just goes to show how much it means to them, how much it means to have such a good start. You're right, Vivid. Things were looking so good. I mean, as soon as we cut to Kanata, he has minigun in hand. I mean, I'm getting flashbacks to the end of last year. I mean, things were so good for them towards the back end of this game. And to see all of them be confident, right? We know like Kanata's going to be confident. That's a given.
Yeah.
But Bolts and Rapid, the way they were talking, they really believe that they're going to go out here and win for however many more games.
Dude, 11, Zeke. Bolt just being like, yeah, man, I just had my shotgun out and everything was a max, dude.
Max, bro.
Dude, you got to be feeling good, right? Because we kept talking about it. You got to adjust to the stage. You got to adjust to your setup. The fact that in game number 1, you're already hitting maxes and you know you are.
And I love that for Bolts, right? When you look back to last Globals, he popped off. And at the end of the event, every single player that was in that lobby afterwards was going to me, Levin, man, I'm trying to play with Bolts, man. Can we get Bolts in our trio? Bolts has to be the guy. Everybody thought he was going to ascend to be the best player in the world, right? And he's had an up and down year. But to come back on this global stage and for him to have a first game like that, it goes to show Bolts is still that guy.
I am so happy right now. But honestly, when we looked at those standings, they weren't in first place, right?
Yeah,
we look over and Tayson is in first place. 13 eliminations, right? So again, remember, we are all so used to seeing majors, right? We're sitting in our own region comfortable, but these are some of the best trios in the world. How are we putting up double-digit eliminations in game 1?
This is the same guy, by the way, who started the day saying, yeah, I'm going to give the win to other people. What was he waffling about, mate? He is on fire right now. They win the off-spawn. It's a close one. It's a tight one. But Tayson clutched up big, and then they go on to just win the outright game. Again, it's why it's so heartbreaking we're seeing them fight off-spawn. They can go, Vivid, from having this game to not even getting to play through the next game, right? They might just end up having to watch for half an hour. But this is what they can do when they win that fight. We know it.
Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff, right? Talking about that all-spawn, I kind of mentioned, hey, when you win this all-spawn, it's not always going to happen where you have all 3 alive, and they had that happen, right? No stalling of the early game, and then, oh my gosh, Chicho just putting on an absolute clinic. You're a duo, and you look up and you see 3 people on the high ground. You see that they're only connected by 1 wood floor. You have the confidence to not only go ahead and pressure the team on the high ground, but then knock 2 of them while they're falling from the high ground. Chicho just showing us the aim in full force.
I mean, this is where I start to really look at the global championships and things get interesting for me, because I think a lot of people were expecting in this first game for Height to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, we know EU teams like to play with it. We know Queasy team love to play for it early. We know Vanya's team can do it as well. In this game, it was Queasy's team that had set up. Kazi's team ends up taking it from them, and so Chicho and them are looking up. They might have probably been expecting it to be more reinforced, right? Chicho's probably looking up thinking, Queasy's probably up there. He looks up and he's like, hold on a minute. Just single with time, man. Let's chop this down. And it's so opportunistic, but it's exactly what you need in a lobby like this. You have to take the opportunities when they come to you.
Oh my gosh, so absolutely